Are you ready to take the 10-year test? Are we the same person that we were 10 years ago? Go on, ask yourself, are you the same? How much have you changed in the last 10 years?
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely.
Well, we definitely aren't the same as we were 10 years ago, even physiologically, because science tells us that our body will regenerate every single cell, even down to the bones, in around 7 to 8 years. So if our body doesn't even stay the same, what about our beliefs, our habits, our ideas, our ways of spending our time, our worldview, and our goals? I'm going to take this test. I'm going to investigate who I was 10 years ago compared to who I am now for everyone to see. And then you have the option. You can do it yourself. You can share it. You can do it quietly. But if you think this is a good idea, why not share it and give other people the opportunity to take a moment to reflect on where they've come in 10 years. 10 years ago, it was 2008, and I was 24 years old, quickly approaching my 25th birthday. And for those of you who know me well, probably all of you who are watching the video, if you know me well, you know that I've changed a great deal in the last 10 years. But why don't we take a closer look? Obviously, we were younger. That's a given. But what about how we spent our time when we were younger? 10 years ago, alcohol was a big part of my life, and I used to drink a lot. A hell of a lot. Wow, maybe even too much, you might argue. As well as drinking most weekends, I used to play a lot of golf. You could say I was obsessed with the game of golf and would play all the time, many times during the week and every weekend. So that pretty much sums up who I was 10 years ago. Drinking, playing golf, and chasing women. I'd probably just started reading books, but it was limited to golf biographies. And so look at where I am now. A married man, a homeowner, and blessed with 2 beautiful children. And yeah, couldn't be more fulfilled and grateful for my life where I am now. But what about the ideas and the worldview that I've acquired in those 10 years, reading all these books and doing all this meditation and all this stuff? I mean, if you were to put the me now in a room with 25-year-old Lewis and get us to have a chat, I mean, we'd disagree on almost everything. We wouldn't see eye to eye. I don't know, on very little we would. So this is an interesting thing to think about, even with your own self, you know, yourself now and yourself 10 years ago. How much would you have disagreed on? But more importantly, what would you have agreed on? 2 closing thoughts for you to take away before you maybe begin your own 10-year test. Firstly, if I can't even agree with my own self of 10 years ago, how can I expect to agree with everyone and their ideas? You can't. And the second thing that's most important is that the last 10 years that are gone, they're over. We've spent them. What's important is to look back and readdress and look into that. The question is, where do we want the next 10 years to take us? Because just now, that last 10 years has gone by in a flash. So will the 10 years that are coming. And we need to take control and decide where we want to be in 10 years' time. Please share this video if you think that it's a good idea. And why not share your own 10-year test if you want to plaster your business all over the internet. But maybe just take a moment's introspection and just think back. Maybe go onto Facebook and look at some of your old photos. Look where you were 10 years ago and try and think about what sort of a person you were 10 years ago and compare that to where you are now. No doubt we've all come a long way in 10 years and we've got a long way to go. The question is, what do we want to do with that? I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.